In this chapter, we're going to focus on our atmosphere. We'll have a second chapter on our atmosphere a couple weeks from now, but today we're going to talk about climate, the difference from weather, and why we have different climates in different areas of our planet. One of the main things we want to know about our atmosphere is what our daily weather is going to be like, or what the climate in the region we live is like. So meteorology is just the general scientific study of weather and how weather is created in our atmosphere. And you might have heard about terms like weather and climate before, and while they might seem really similar, they're actually really different from one another. Our weather's things like temperature, precipitation, and humidity. These are atmospheric conditions that last a really short period of time, and weather is constantly changing. We might be checking the weather apps on our phone to see what the weather is like before we leave for work. We might check it again in the afternoon to see if we're going to get a storm or at what time. So the weather is constantly fluctuating. Climate, on the other hand, generally does not change. Climate is averaged over a really long period of time, usually multiple decades. And it's going to be kind of like an average of the weather. So today here in Florida, it might be 92 degrees and rainy, and tomorrow it might be 88 degrees and sunny. The weather is going to change between the 2 days. But Florida climate in general is just warm and humid. It doesn't matter if someone is coming to visit us in February or August. They would know that by coming to Florida, it's probably going to be relatively warm and pretty humid due to our climate and the fact that it doesn't change over short periods of time. When we're looking at our weather and climate, there are a few things that we want to be able to measure. Probably the most obvious is going to be the temperature of the air. I want to know how hot or how cold it's going to be each day. So if we look at this chart, it's showing us the different months out of the year, from January, February to March, all the way down to December. And each line is showing us a different type of temperature. So each day we have a high and a low. The high is usually around 3 p.m. and the low will generally be sometime after midnight. But in addition to our average highs and our average lows for each month, we're also going to have a record high and a record low. So we might have June where the average is about 80 degrees every day. But maybe there was one day that was just way above this average and it was 104 degrees. We would want to know a difference between what is it usually like on this June high or what is the hottest it has been in June. But in addition to our air temperature, we also want to know the humidity or the amount of water vapor that's stored within the air. And we might want to know about the cloudiness. I'm a person that gets sunburnt in less than 5 minutes of being outside. So I want to know how much cloudiness there's going to be, as well as what types. It's going to help me with my SPF, but it also will help me figure out if we're going to have rain or fair weather. And in addition to our cloudiness, we also care about the precipitation. I want to know the type of precipitation I might expect for the day, whether it's going to rain or snow. And I also want to know the amount. Should I expect a quick afternoon shower, or is it going to rain for 3 days straight? We also care about things that we're going to talk about more in this chapter, like our air pressure, how compacted is our atmosphere, and things like the wind. Which direction is the wind coming from, and how fast is it moving?